Okay, and good morning. Here we are on Trinity Update, and I have two guests today that are going to excite you because we are just getting into well, as Catholics, we have to go through Advent, of course, first, but you know, it's Christmas in many ways, and I always say that, you know what, I think what happens to people is that there's just so many weekends before Christmas, so Christmas kind of keeps edging backwards a little bit, you know, because people just have to have concerts and whatnot. So what am I talking about? The Marionettes' upcoming concert, which is not this weekend, next weekend, December the 6th, 7th, and 8th.
And 9th.
And 9th, okay. And I have Carolyn Taylor here with me and Stefan Williams. Got it right? Okay. These days you have to be careful how you pronounce people's names. But tell us about this upcoming Marionettes concert, which is an annual event that is ticked off on most people's calendars.
It should be.
Yes, it is. It is.
I mean, people do us a great honor of saying that Christmas begins with the Marionettes, which is just lovely for us because, you know, one of the things that we love to do is to minister to people through music, you know, to bring joy, to bring hope. And that's actually the name of the concert next week. It's Celebrate Hope.
Right,
Because last year we did a prayer for peace, given everything that was happening both locally and internationally.
Right.
And then at July, we did a gift to the nation too, including a work called The Armed Man, A Mass for Peace. So we were very much promoting the message of peace and what each individual in Trinidad and Tobago could do to play their part to bring about peace.
Yeah.
And having done that and introduced the new children's choir, which is 50 exuberant and really talented children as young as, you know, 6, 7 years old, having introduced them and seen how disciplined and dedicated and talented they are, and also knowing, you know, what the future can hold and seeing this generation coming up, we were like, let's celebrate hope.
Oh,
you know, let's try and
great.
focus on the positive and what can happen, especially in a season like Christmas, you know. So we're presenting the children's choir to our Christmas audience and also introducing our new assistant musical director, Dr. Roger Henry, who was a judge at Music Festival earlier this year. And a really wonderful artistic team that has come together across generations to take marionettes into the next, you know, the next 50 years, you know.
Well, maybe we should just let everyone know that Carolyn is actually Greta Taylor's daughter, and Greta is the musical director of Marionettes.
Chief cook and bottle washer.
Now that she's getting this assistant, does that mean that she's starting to kind of put in reverse gear, or?
Well, actually, Suzanne Dowdy, who's also a member of the Living Water community, was the assistant musical director for many, many years as well. And she retired at the end of last year and is now our property fund director. So Roger's come up and is very hands-on also with the conducting. So he'll be conducting a few of the numbers in the show. I'm the assistant artistic director because drama is more my focus.
Well, we know that.
And then we have two wonderful repetitors in Jane Carter and Darren Chillingford, who's a young guy that just immigrated from Dominica. And so we just have a really nice team. And Mummy is very much, oh God, I hate to call her Mummy, it sounds so cheesy. But she's very mindful of succession and also wanting to, you know, pass the baton literally over to the next generation while continuing to be there and nurturing and guiding and whatnot. But you know, she knows she's not going to be there forever and, you know, wants to enjoy some of her golden years as well without just, you know, being totally overworked too. So it's all coming together really nicely. The group has been wonderfully blessed that way, so we give thanks for that.
For sure.
Well, I like the idea of the message of hope. Stefan, what part do you play in all of this?
Well, I am part of the organizing committee with the Marionettes Chorale. Like Carolyn, we have come up the ranks from being a youth chorale member when the choir first started in 1995. And this is where the succession comes in. You know, we've been raised throughout the choir, more Carolyn than I.
From birth.
Because she'll go home with it. You know, but we are there just to, as Carolyn said, to help focus and get the choir to continue in the same light that we have been taught for the past 50 years, to continue on forward.
Now, I think we have a clip of one of the Marionettes concerts. Are we ready with that? Can we have a little look? All right, so people will get a little taste. The Marionettes. And we saw two familiar faces there. Now we get to see the finished product when we go to Queen's Hall. We dress up and we have our tickets and we go and we see what we just saw there. But what goes into the days and weeks before that? Give us a little insight.
And lots of planning, lots of dedication. Well, besides the chorale coming together mainly twice a week, like for a Christmas concert, we will start at the beginning of September.
Right.
And start preparing from then. And about a month before, just prior, we will add in a Sunday rehearsal. So it's basically twice a week, and a month before, we add 3 times.
And then the youth chorale and children practice on a Saturday as well.
Yeah.
But even the planning, you know, whether it's what music we're learning, because when the choir actually meets at the beginning of September, by then, I'll call her Greta. Greta's already been planning for about 2 months before, you know, trying to figure out, okay, well, which music do we need to get? What are we going to hand out to the choir? What will we begin to learn, you know? So the kind of conceptualizing how the concert will work starts months long in
I'm
advance.
sure, I'm
you
sure.
know. So,
Because one thing, she's a well-planned lady.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
you can see that.
Well-planned.
Yes.
Very meticulous.
Yes.
Does not like to, you know, Trinidadians talk about sticking.
Yeah.
She does stick.
Yeah.
At all.
Yes, yeah.
No sticking with Greta at all. And she's, you know, she tries to anticipate every eventuality. There's even a very specific way that she'll order songs within each section. You know, she'll kind of group them together with, you know, along themes or types of music, and sometimes even order them one after the other based on their respective key signatures and things like that. You know, it's there's so much more behind the scenes than people ever really understand.
Or understand.
And then, you know, each year, because some people like my mother are coming to every Marionettes Christmas concert. So every year you have to, you know, you can't just sing the same old things the same old way.
Absolutely.
So it has to be a newness each time. So that is a challenge.
By itself.
Oh, yes. You know, they're trying to find new ways of singing Jingle Bells is always, always a challenge.
Yes,
you know? So she's always on the lookout for kind of new carols being written by composers or interesting arrangements of pieces that we know well, you know. But you know, I don't live at home with her anymore, but when sometimes she'll get calls on her voicemail, or back in the day with answering machines, people demanding that we sing the Hallelujah chorus, otherwise it's not Christmas for them.
You see that?
It's incredible.
So you have to have some things that are the same.
Oh, yes. I mean,
that one is one.
Yes.
Must have the Hallelujah, must have it, and then that must be followed by some soca parang or parang after to chip out. And it's people are very adamant about what they need to see in the Marionettes Christmas concert.
But Carolyn, you had some training in drama, and so maybe you could just share with us a little bit about that.
Well, when I did my undergraduate degree in the States and studied performance studies, which is a kind of combination of all the art forms, theater, dance, and the anthropology of performance as well. So you think about how people are kind of within cultures are moved to create certain kinds of art, how that influences the kind of art they make. And then for my postgraduate, I did a master's in performance making in their drama department in London, University of London at Goldsmiths. And so that was very much, again, like from every aspect of performance, from the stage managing, lighting, sound, writing, performing, voice, speech, everything. So yeah, all aspects of performance I absolutely love, you know. So that has translated well into being involved with marionettes.
Hence the title, Assistant Artistic Director.
That's right. Now, you know, some children growing up in that kind of setting, you either kind of love it or hate it. You either say, well, I have had enough of that. I don't want to be part of anything. But obviously you have it in the blood. So you want it to be. And I'm sure a lot of what you have learned, you can now bring to the marionettes and share with Greta.
Which she has.
Because even after graduation, I spent some time in New York working in arts administration, like marketing, nonprofit arts organizations off Broadway and stuff like that. So that has been useful as well. But I think when I was growing up, I think the only place where I resisted the music in particular, since, you know, mom and my aunts and my cousin are all kind of really proficient musicians, whether singers or pianists or conductors or whatever, was they used to enter me a music festival, both in the piano and voice classes. I never, ever showed up. I was like, y'all can waste your registration fee if you want, I'm not going.
How come?
I think one time my a friend of my dad's from Europe came, and I think there was this defining moment where she looked up at all the awards on the wall, you know, from my aunts and my grandpa and mummy, and she's like, so when is your music festival trophy going up? And I was like, it's not. I'll get my award somewhere else. I will, you know, and drama really is my first love. So, I mean, I love music, but drama is the first love, and I think that's where I'm strongest as well.
Yeah. And is there, you know, do you have an opportunity to really work with that here in Trinidad as much as you would like to?
Yes and no. I think there are wonderful things happening. I mean, even the plays that I've been in the last couple of years, you know, with Raghu Barsing and Chukang and stuff, you may not necessarily know it from the marketing, but they're almost always fairly serious plays with comedy, you know, whether they're dealing with death or with politics or whatnot, as I said, you can't always tell from the marketing, but they've been solid contemporary stuff. I think what I miss in Trinidad is the more classical stuff, because I love text-based performance where the language is very specific, you know, so Shakespeare, Greek tragedy, you know, the kind of, you know, I love classical stuff, and that's something
we don't have too much of that.
And but even like local work or regional work, like the Walcotts or the Treveroons or that kind of thing, we don't do enough of that. I find I would love to see more of that done in Trinidad.
Maybe you are the one who's going to initiate it.
Well, Marionettes is trying to branch out into kind of being a multi-arts organization with an educational outreach arm, a kind of dramatic musical theatre arm, as well as the choral core, you know, because our foundation is the choral music. So hopefully in time, through Marionettes and on my own steam, we'll be able to do more.
Do something. Well, we look forward to that. But back to the Marionettes now. How many people do you have in the choir now that you have the children's section?
It can push 150.
150.
Yeah,
wow.
it can get close to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially since it's like a community organization, you know, people volunteer their time, you know, even Mom and Auntie Jo have been unpaid for you know 40 years of leadership. So sometimes, you know, the on paper it's 150, but you know, based on people's work or family commitments, sometimes it'll fall down to just below that for actual concert time. But our community itself is that size.
And then every now and then you have a couple foreigners or so who are living in Trinidad and who just want to be part of it because they can sing.
Yes.
Part of the line.
Be part of the line.
Trying to think, do we have
any
we
this
have
year?
one at the moment, a British woman, but I haven't seen her in the last couple of weeks actually.
Neither have I.
So she may be traveling, you know, especially if their husbands are expats and have to travel for work in their company, then they're not around. But we've had, you know, Americans and Aussies and Brits and we had a Venezuelan that literally walked in off the street last year. She was walking down Frederick Street, heard us singing, walked in, came, sang with us, and then left again and went back to Venezuela at the end of Christmas. And I think we actually have more of a CARICOM mix this time. We have Dominica, Guyana, St. Vincent. I think those are the three islands. Oh, well, Guyana's not an island, but those are the three countries representing from the Caribbean this time.
And that would be just for this year then? Next year they probably won't be around?
No, I think they're studying and working and that kind of thing, so I think they'll be around for a bit. Yeah, God willing.
And Natalia Dopwell is back now, is she?
She's back in the country, but I think she's so busy now, kind of, I think she was just in Panama. Was it Panama? No, Peru.
Yeah, she travels a lot with her husband and
I think she was competing in something the other day that she did well in. So I think between producing her own operas with the CMFDTT, I never quite get the acronym right. The Development Foundation. I think she's very busy with that. So and as a soloist too, you know, once you move on to that, it's you know, the choral singing takes a back seat. So
because you have your own brand to look after.
Yes, that's very true.
Well, we don't want too much of a sneak peek, but maybe you could just share with us a little bit of what we can look forward to in the show this year.
Hallelujah chorus.
It's a secret. Well, we have Renegades joining us this time. So they'll be taking some numbers on their own as well as joining us with some other nice festive stuff, and then the children are bound to teeth the show. They are so precious, and they're these little they're so extroverted and so talented and so quick, and they're incredibly disciplined, sometimes more so than the adults. You know, and there's I mean, she stole the show in July, and I'm sure she will again, because she was 6 then, she's 7 now, and there's a little one, Amelia, that she's this big and she's just cute and has these little dimples, and she's such a little starlet. She actually bowed with Mummy at the July concert. So the audience is...
You're going to love her.
Yes, her and her big sister and all of those children, they're bound to steal the show, and the adults, we absolutely love them. It's created even more of a family vibe in the organization.
Good for you.
But as Carolyn mentioned, we're having Renegades as our guests. It's special such that we, the choir, we're celebrating our 50th anniversary
Next year.
From next year.
Okay.
But we're also celebrating 40 years with BBTT.
All right.
And
That's a long time for sponsorship.
Yes,
wow.
it is. They have. I mean, they're really, in terms of the way they give back to the arts and to sports.
Yes, yeah.
They've really
You have
been
to give them
exemplary that way. Yeah. And going back to when they were Amaco, you know, they've just, I suppose, recognized similar values in terms of developing young people, you know, giving back to the community, raising funds for causes and that kind of thing. So I think they found a reliable partner in the arts, you know, because I remember someone describing Marionettes as a well-oiled machine. You know, we know how to do it, we know how to do it right. So we have some wonderful people like Joanne Mendez, you know, on the production side, who know, she knows exactly how to do everything just right. And
a founding member.
Yeah, she's a founding member as well.
I know that,
She's a production manager extraordinaire. And so I think when they see a kind of several generations of people that know how to do this and make it work and give back to the community and create joy.
You for that.
Yes, you know, so it's really been a match made in heaven, and long may it last.
Well, let's, for our viewers' sake, let's just remind them of the weekend, the dates, where they can get tickets, that kind of thing.
Okay, well, the shows are from the 6th of December to the 9th.
The 6th is a
Yes.
Thursday,
Yes.
right?
So that's the opening night. 6th, 7th, and 8th shows are at 7:30, and on Sundays at 5. Tickets can be bought at the box office or any one of the Marionettes Chorale members, and also online.
Yeah. Well, to get in touch with choir members directly, you can just email us at email@marionettechorale.com. Call the Marionettes number, which is 790-1751, is it?
That sounds familiar.
Yes. And the Queen's Hall box office, which I now know by heart, is 624-1284. And they're open 12 to 6 Monday to Friday.
Okay. So we just want to encourage each and every one of you out there, if you've never been to a Marionettes concert, perhaps this is the year that you're going to treat yourself.
Yes.
But I'm sure that many of you viewing have already been, and you just need to get your tickets real quick.
Because
really,
they take them out of our hands, really.
Yes.
They've been booking since October.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's some people who are just addicted.
And we love them.
It's a great addiction, I tell you.
Yes, it is. Because I think after you leave the concert, you really feel that spirit of Christmas, and the theme this year being, you know, hope is just right on.
Oh, great.
So we just want to thank you all for being here, and
Thank you
you
for
don't
having
look
us.
very tired for all the rehearsing, but I'll be there one of the nights. So we look forward to that, and we wish you all God's blessings for a wonderful and successful concert.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, that's it. We've been talking about the Marionettes concert, and every one of you needs to go out there quick, and get a ticket. God bless.
diciendo a María, no vete José, ave no tengas miedo, santísima fe, diciendo a María, no vete José, ave no tengas miedo, santísima fe. sí, por Espíritu Santo para Cristo venir y el Padre soberano quiere que diga sí, por Espíritu Santo para Cristo venir. Tiki-boom, 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 hija, tiki-boom, 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 tiki-boom. Ave María, Ave. Así yo, tú serás la Santa Madre de tu Dios Emmanuel. Tú serás la Santa Madre de tu Dios Emmanuel. Siempre estoy preparado a mi Dios obedecer. Soy tu esclava, señora, que en su palabra contestó la Virgen María al Santo Ángel Gabriel, y por el poder divino sin pecado concibió. Contestó la Virgen María al Santo Ángel Gabriel, y por el poder divino sin pecado concibió. Tiki-boom, tiki-boom.